Today we're looking if Ethiopia made an empire. So this is my second ever empire video, kinda. So, I might edit this one. Anyways, let's get straight to the video. So Ethiopia starts deploying troops on the border near Eritrea because they want their old lands back. And Eritrea doesn't really realize this until a bit later, but they invade the south. They take a little bit of the south, and they finally get a coast, which they're a bit happy about. But the job's not done, and they start invading. And Eritrea take advantage of this, and take a partially big chunk of the north bit, and it looks weird now, very weird. So then they manage to annex it back. Oh no, and Eritrea get a bit more, but then Ethiopia annex more of it, and they push them back to the river, and they actually advance up to the river, and they try to aim for the capital, which is a big decision, but not very hard. Very hairy. What am I saying? So they manage to take this, and they start advancing slowly to the thing. And by now they're like, thingy's gone down. They take these two islands over here, and the military's kind of fully capitulated at this rate, and they capture the capital, and which leads to Eritrea's surrender. Yeah, that's what happens. So then now Ethiopia now declare war on Djibouti and Somaliland, which also not really surprisingly actually, Somalia joined them to invade Somaliland. So this starts with Somalia invading here, capturing, I think it's the disputed territories they managed to capture at least. And then Djibouti stand no chance against Ethiopia. So they just die. And Ethiopia starts invading Somaliland. And then Somalia said, yeah, we're done invading, so you can take the rest. Which they do. And they start advancing to the coast and like this. And now it may as well just be the capital's completely surrounded with a little bit of land left. Oh, it looks like a heart. I love my subscribers. This is for you. Yeah, this is for you. Anyways, they managed to capture the capital, and now it's fully dead now. This is what the peace treaty looks like, by the way. Like, Somalia gains inland. But the craziest thing ever happens. Oh yeah, Ethiopia betray Somalia, and they invade them like this. And reason why I left this here, because they get pushed all the way back, and Somalia nearly connects to them, but they don't, and they take this part back. And these are completely trapped, which is basically, let's say, I don't know, 75% of the army, and Ethiopia take it, which is very sad. Imagine, couldn't be me. That could not be me. So now Somalia are in deep trouble, because they've just been backstabbed, and their country's in ruins. Where the hell is the capital? Anyways, and by now the military has been fully dismantled and all that, so they have to surrender. That's what the peace treaty. Should we do a peace treaty? No, they just die. And that's what the Ethiopian Empire looks now. They should be really satisfied, right? Wrong. And this war between, so basically Ethiopia just plan on invading this island. I can't remember what it's called. I can't remember, but it's got alien type. Look like an alien. So I think this looks like a port here, so they just set ships off and they just start invading the island. And it comes fully under Ethiopian control. And Yemen don't like that. And neither do the UAE. So they both declare war. The reason the UAE declares war because they also take ownership of the island because they funded the villagers and that. So the UAE kinda funds Yemen in the war, and Yemeni soldiers landed in Djibouti trying to hold on. Oh yeah, there we go. Trying to liberate the land, which is they've declared war. This looks like they've already done it, right? Wrong. And oh my god. And Ethiopia gained their land back, splitting this into two. Taking this part fully. Oh my god! Taking this part fully back again. And this part. And eventually land on the coast a bit. And they also take these islands. And they start expanding. Which is very, very scary for Yemen. Oh no. But the Ethiopian soldiers are too strong. I'm not saying that's biased. I'm not biased or anything. But they start going against the capital. That did not sound right. I'm sorry for being biased for saying they're heading up to the capital. I mean, like, they're a bit powerful, but yeah, that. And they also take this island and land on here. And start invading inland and inland. And they've nearly reached the capital, but they need to reach these guys first, don't they? They eventually do, splitting this region into two. Which they actually put up kind of a fight here because there's some troops. Based on some chunks, Yemen take that, and that area capitulates. And Yemen eventually annexed the capital fully. And now, yeah, they're cooked. Anyways, let's do a peace treaty. So North Yemen gets independence. I don't know why I just did that. But they only get a little bit. Like that much. Actually, no, we'll do a little bit more. Do a little bit more. There we are. And that's the peace treaty. Looks pretty alright. Doesn't it? And guess what happens next? They don't invade Oman. I mean, we might do that later. But, South Sudan, they're gonna, yeah. Knock, who's there? It's Ethiopia. Yeah, you're cooked. And they plan to get to the capital of Juba. But Sudan hears about this. And so they declare war on them first. So basically, they're the actual ones. So Sudan start pushing in with all their force. And Ethiopia does as well. Invading from is that the east or the west? That's the east. Anyways, they start eventually getting near the capital. And Sudan starts invading them. Invading South Sudan. And they take a lot as well. And South Sudan looks kind of doomed here, chat. And they both eventually meet up with each other. Well, in the battle, not borderly wise. They both meet up at the river. And both are trying to reach the capital of Juba. And Ethiopia reached there first. Skill issue. Sorry, Sudan, but it's a skill issue. And they're not doing a partition. So they get this part, which is rich in all the resources. And El Bozo Sudan gets this part. I mean, it looks wrong. But it looks right at the same time. The little point bit. Anyways, so, they invade Kenya for some reason. They just do. Actually, no, should they invade Kenya or Uganda? They invade Uganda next, just to make it more entertaining. Actually, no, and Kenya. Right, so now Ethiopia are getting really powerful and they're getting really big, so they invade Kenya and Uganda. And it starts going really well. Taking small territories, essentially turning into big in Kenya, and Uganda gets split into three actually, because what's this part over here then, huh? Tell me. But these guys actually get funded, and they take the incy tiniest bit back. Then they get fully destroyed. Boom. And they're just dead now. They take the full lot. Then Kenya! They already took Nairobi, actually, so they die as well. And Ethiopia's looking a pretty big empire. I think it's one of the biggest in Africa now. Yay! So for the last 2 countries in Africa, 3 actually, is going to be Tanzania. But they don't really invade Tanzania. They actually organise with them. So they said, hey, can we get this? Can we get these parts? No, says Tanzania. But we'll give you some coastline. It says, okay, more coastline is good. So this is what happens when you do it. Never mind. Just kidding. And you just take this for an exchange of. Actually, no, not that. Should we make it a bit? Just make it a bit thinner. For exchange of this. It may not look much. What the hell is that? I need to fix that. There we go. That's better. And this is what happens. Just because it does. And now there's also a reason why. Because number one, they wanted this. Like, I think it's the biggest in Africa. Yeah, it's the biggest in Africa. Oh, where is it? There it is. Biggest in Africa. And also, so they conveyed these 2. But since these 2, this one's Rwanda. And that one's Burundi. And they just both capitulate straight away because you want to know why? Because Burundi agrees to join. Because they're the poorest country in the world. And Rwanda is their own dictatorship. What am I saying? Dictatorship. No, they put up a fight. And so when they invade, Rwanda weren't happy because they're at war with the Republic of Congo. They're really not at the same time. But like the DR Congo takes advantage. And they do this to Rwanda. But surprise, Rwanda actually pushes back. Well, not really much, but it's good for them. And they also push back these guys a bit. Yippee, yippee, yay! They get severely arrested. They're going to get severely arrested. And they invade. And the rest goes to Ethiopia, which is basically... Let's redraw that border real quick. There we go. And this is it for the video. Make sure to like and subscribe. Make sure to smash that like button. Hey, yo, whoa, why did that sound weird? But just smash it because I want to reach the 60 subscribers and maybe even 100. My dream. Anyways, goodbye, my friends. Uh-oh.